Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 9. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here and welcome back to this week's news report. Very exciting news. We are very close here now before we are going to launch our Pamm account. And it is actually in countdown. There's less than 24 hours now to go. So get ready, set. And if you want in on this particular trading option from day one, then definitely you still have a chance. You can still transfer some money over to the account, or you can simply just go and have a look at this video to see what more is to come, because we're going to cover all of it. Plus, obviously, also a few other things from some of the platforms. We have, as usual, plenty of news for you and updates, but definitely this one takes the prize. We also have some videos from Alex, also now announcing the second account up regarding MAM or PAM, whatever you want to call it in here. It is pretty much almost the same. What it means is basically somebody else is going to trade for you. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and then hopefully see the money drop in. But let's start off in a completely different place. The money is not dropping in there at the moment. We are talking about yield notes. But however, we have a bit of news from yield notes and Steve, the CEO, and the team. Again, here just mentioning a few things on a February update, and quite a few things to cover in that particular email. It's very long, so I haven't put everything in there. Obviously, they're talking about Bitcoin growing at the moment. We're going to have a look at that shortly. Altcoin market, things are looking pretty okay at the moment, which hopefully should help the yield notes projects here also moving forward. There's an update to the Yield Notes Pro 2024 update. And as we have already announced, and what we believe was going to happen, is the Yield Notes Pro test version is basically ready and rescheduled to launch in second quarter. And as we predicted already weeks ago here, that was most likely the way things were going to go. But okay, if that is the final verdict, if that's the final starting date, so be it. We can wait a bit longer if we absolutely have to. And apart from that, there's also, based on Decenomy milestones, completing the planning, there's new stuff available from the download from the site, so you can go and have a look in there also. There are some comprehensive overviews of what is planned and what is going forward. So if you also receive that particular email here, all you have to do is click the link and you'll get some more details in here. They also mentioned a few things regarding the audit, masternoding, and staking process. Staking process, well, we're also going to get back to that very shortly. So it is a bit on the low side, definitely. But what we were also expecting is the audit plan, and the whole idea was it was going to be finished by Q4 of 2023. It never really happened. And now at the moment they are talking about the new audit plan should be in place, and they will do the audit in Q2. So let's see if that's going to actually hold the timeline also. It is a bit annoying that things are getting delayed and delayed. So we'll try and see if we can keep the Yield Notes team honest over time. Now let's go and have a look just to see the SAP results, if that has changed anything from the news that came out from Yield Notes. And pretty much it's status quo. It is actually dropped just a bit from last week, where we ended up at this 6 zeros and then 1 9. Since then it has gone down to 6 zeros and 16, so definitely still not going in the right direction. The trend looked like it was going sideways, then latest trend in the last couple of days here, slightly downwards, but again, I don't believe this matters too much at the moment. Going over and having a look at our SAP coins and the staking we have here, pretty much nothing has happened at all. As you can see, the last time we actually got anything out of that from our wallet was the 18th of February, so that has now been a couple of weeks. Pretty much nothing happened. And if we have a look at also February, we can see that we got about 560 SAP in here, and that pretty much just covers the one here on the 15th of February and one on the 18th. That was pretty much it. Since then, nothing has happened here. Same for the PNY. Also here we are a bit low compared to January numbers, and having a quick look, so just through it, we can see that we have about 5 entries for this particular month of February, 133 every single time. and still that only gives slightly over 600 PNY. So again, also here, a bit disappointing, not really much happening at the moment. So, but obviously we can hope that things are looking up, similar to what we have on the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has certainly taken off once again. It was up past the 50,000 here quite a few weeks ago. And since then, things were bobbing around, doing a bit of a sideways movement. And then from there on, it was dropping all the way down to 50,521, as you can see here. And then in the middle of the week, it has been taking off, rocketing, and ending up at exactly 64,000 in here. And now once again, it is trading sideways, currently around 61,860. So it looks interesting. It definitely good development overall for Bitcoin. We're going to hope that that has also a very good and positive influence on overall the Yieldnos project in here. But we are now looking at the Trillant platform and the news that's coming out of there. Not very much news at the moment, I'm afraid. The only thing that we got here is a reminder from paying attention to your tax obligations. And obviously we are fully aware of that. We are not giving any type of tax advice because definitely there are so many different countries where the tax is different. So we urge you to go and see an accountant and make sure that you get this done right. In this particular case here, they are simply just talking about the staking with the tree, with the trill, and also if you have held any balance, so on and so on. But again, this is very individual from country to country and even from person to person, depending on how you have set this up in the past. But there is a couple of details and information in here on how you log into your Trillant accounts when you do that, how you go to the dashboard in here and then click the wallets, and from there on you'll basically get some of the details and information that you will need for your accountants. If we have a quick look at the tree coin just to see if that has changed anything over the past week, it has, but it's also in the negative direction, similar to what you saw with SAP. So in CoinStore here at last week, we left it at 0.0002111. And after that, we have seen a steady decline overall. Not too much of trading apart from a bit of buying right here, which again came down very, very quickly. And at the moment, the coin is now trading at 0.0001906. So again, not much development, and certainly not development in the right direction either. So let's go over to our robots, to our EAs, to see how the money tree here has gone for week 9. We can see the low risk accounts, which is also the $10,000 account in here, has done $157 for that particular week in here, 1.9%, which is not too bad for the week. Medium risk accounts actually did $135 at 2.7%. And then we can see a very nice profit for the high risk one, $216 or 6.8%. So that is some good numbers for week 9, but it's definitely not all of them that has been going so well for the entire month of February. So the money tree, again, if we have a quick look at the low risk one, overall the money tree did $200 or 0.7%. So obviously very, very low. The medium risk account, if you have seen my previous video here regarding that, and also in the news report we mentioned here, there is some fees for the swap itself, and that's the reason why we actually ended up with the minus on the medium risk account. It wasn't really a loss. It was a position that was open for a long time, and we're ending up with a minus of $2.62 or minus 0.1%. High risk one, we had a crash earlier in the month in here, where again there was a small margin call. We lost a bit of money, so at the moment for the month of February it's down by $1,878 or minus 36.1%. Definitely we took the lot size up a bit too much on the high risk part, and yes, we have to learn from that. We can see the medium one is definitely the better one to go with, despite the numbers that you actually see for this particular week. The medium risk, let's have a quick look at the account. Back then we could see things were going pretty well, and then they went bad. We had to make the adjustments Overall, we do make money on this particular one now. Total return is 15% over the 312 days, so obviously not impressive. But we let the account run to make sure that you can always see where exactly we're going. It started off with 5,000, and since then, now the monthly return at the moment is calculated only at 1.4. You can see it's obviously a bit higher, but it's because it's taking the entire period into consideration. Going over to the high risk one, so this is the one where we actually had again a bit of money dropping out of it, and it also ended up in the same level as it did last time, so just north of $3,000. You can see the balance at the moment, 3,393. No open profits or losses, so no lots open here at the moment. And because also we had this drop in here, total return is back down to minus now. Still the same, also 312 days. So nothing has changed in that particular one. But we believe the medium risk one is the one with the right risk reward ratio. So let's continue to look at that and also see if the high risk one once again can recover. What has recovered many times is the profit retriever. This is week 9. It is very, very low profits that we have for this particular week and for the entire February for that matter when it comes to the profit retriever. Aussie USD did the best of the top 5 EAs with $166 and 1.7%. So nothing major, nothing impressive in here. Silver $163 and 1.6%. Great British Pounds USD $151 or 1.5%. And then we have the Euro USD $124 or 1.2%. Ending off with the FTSE, which is normally the one that's really cashing in. But even that one has also struggled because, again, not big market fluctuations, $119 or 1.2%. So overall, if you would have traded those top 5 accounts in the last week, you would have made $723 or 1.5%. That is definitely very, very low in our book. So let's go and have a look and see exactly how February did overall. The FTSE 100, as I mentioned before, did the best of them all, $1,762, 17.6%. So overall for the entire month, you can see it did actually quite well. Then we also have the silver in here with $1,288, or 12.9%. So obviously index first and then middle, and then we have Forex here, Euro USD, $967 or 9.8%. And then we have gold, down here at $967 or 9.7%, and then followed by Euro, New Zealand, $787, 7.9%. Overall, if you would have taken your money and traded on this particular account, you would have made $5,780 or 11.6%. So obviously these results are definitely not too bad overall. And if we have a look at the entire portfolio in here, again, as always, we are always trading with the same lot size. We are not really changing that much because we always have to make sure that the copy link service providers in here know that we can trade this particular signals with $10,000. History now, 715 days of profits, as you can see, going quite well. And then we have the net profits on the other side going all the way back to July 2022. So it's looking quite well. But have a look and see how bad the month of February actually was. We only made $9,787, so definitely not very impressive for the month. We saw it was already down by quite a bit and we never really recovered. Obviously this is a shorter month, but still it was not enough to make up anything of the loss anyway with the extra couple of days that we have in the other months. Now you can obviously go on our website. You can find more details and information for the profit retriever trading, and you can also find it on the copy link trading over here. It all depends on if you're interested in trading this yourself or if you simply just want to follow some of our links or some of the other traders that are in there on the copy forum for the expert Forex, then that is the way to go. Now in there we also have the Trade Explorer, and for the Trade Explorer for week 9 we have the 22 pair one, which we normally call the low risk one, which is $150 or 1.5%. The 10 pair one did a bit better, and we normally call that one the bit more aggressive one. You will actually also see that in the video here, $184 or 1.8%. So both of them very, very low for this particular month. Overall, February was an okay month, but again, 22 pair, only $506, or 5.1%. 10 pair one did a bit better, $874, or 8.7%. So both of them are a bit low, so both for the week and also for the month in here. So let's go and have a look at the accounts and see how the drawdowns were then. The 22 pair account started off with $10,000. Now we're past 20, so obviously doubling the account. Floating profit and loss, we're actually in positive 2.88 at the moment. And you can see the account history, 291 days. Early days in here we passed, so what is this? It's about 4,500 that we had in drawdown, so that was very early on. Since then, things have been looking quite well, and we haven't had a drawdown in a long time past the $1,000. So it looks like this account is really behaving very, very nicely at the moment. And having a quick look at the 10 pair one, and you'll see why I'm calling this one a bit more aggressive. It does have some higher peaks in here overall. Profit is a higher also, yeah, because we have already gotten the account from 10 up to 25,000. Floating profit and loss minus $12 at the moment, so everything looks to be very much under control. But look at some of the spikes here. We had about 2,800. So here we had about 3,500, a really bad one at 5,500. And then things have been coming down a bit again, just around the 3,000 mark. And ever since then, it's passed it has kept within the $2,000 mark. And even Stevens out here. So it's looking pretty good also here. Nothing to worry too much about as long as you start off with a $10,000 account, of course. So don't be too greedy. Don't think that you can squeeze this EA too much. It's going to come back and bite you very quickly. And you can see on the spikes here how fast they go. So all you need is one currency pair and some news, and all of a sudden this is what happens to you. So just be careful with that. Total return 157%, history 291 days, and obviously 10 pair in here. You can see how that is divided up by the amounts of trades. Now if we go on to the Wave Liberator, and obviously we're going to talk a lot more about the Wave Liberator this week, because this is also the EA we are using from Expert Forex for the Pamm account setup. We are very, very happy with this one. And as you'll see also here, we can actually trade it on $1,000 accounts, and that's why we have adjusted the numbers so that the Aussie USD is making $66 or 6.6%. And below we can see Euro CAD did $56 or 5.6%. Euro Great British Pounds $48 or 4.8%. New Zealand USD $42 or 4.2%. And then Swiss francs Japanese $32 or 3.2% overall. If you would have traded those 5 accounts with $1,000 on each, you would have made $244 or 4.9%. And this is only for 1 week. So as you can see again, very, very strong results. You can use this one both for the Pamm account. We have tested also this in the past, of course. So for the FTMO or proprietary trading, so we are trying to really limit the drawdowns to the absolute max, and that's also why it's possible to actually trade this on a $1,000 account instead of, for example, the Profit Retriever. But let's go and have a look at the February numbers overall here. For the top 5 in here, we have the Great British Pounds on top with $210 or 21.0% for the month. So very nice overall February results. Aussie Swiss francs, $132 or 13.2%. And then New Zealand USD, $129 or 12.9%. Aussie New Zealand, $127 or 12.7%. And the last one is the US Japanese, also very closely followed, $121 or 12.1%. So all of them above the 10% mark, as you can see. Again, if you would have traded those 5 accounts in the last month, so which means you would have had to put aside $5,000 in total, you would have made $719 or 14.4%. And that is pretty much what we expected when we go and have a closer look at the portfolio that we are trading. So this is the Forex Liberator. So portfolio comes in with 16 EAs trading all these different currency pairs. The balance itself started off at 10,000 times 16 accounts, so 160. You can now see that the profits has passed the 10,000 mark, so close profits 11,422. Floating profit on this particular one is pretty much one currency pair that we have adjusted, but it's a bit late at the moment. It's minus 1,600. So obviously not optimum, but that's what you will have from time to time, where one currency pairs will break away. And that's why it's very important you bunch them up, like you have 8 or 10 of these EAs together. So you give them a bit more room to breathe instead of running them on individual accounts of $1,000. It makes more sense, definitely for sure, and also improves that the risk of basically a margin call or something else is very small. Monthly returns 1.6, but you can obviously times that up by 10. So if you were trading it similar to $1,000 accounts, so 16%. Weekly returns 0.4. And still, again, this one here actually also stays within the FTMO rules, again, of the 5% drawdown. So there's no real chance that that's going to be blown any given time. And look at the history down here, 195 days. So there's plenty of data overall showing that this is a good, stable way forward. And this is also what we were going to show you on the Pamm account. Now, before we do that, obviously we want to show you here also the monthly returns again. So you've seen the net profits that is set up. Also here, February is low for that particular EA. All the other months we have seen for the past 3 months, past 2,000. And then February dropped down to 1,602. But March is already underway and it managed to just cash in $139.90 for that particular one day of the month so far. So we mentioned the Pamm service several times in this particular video. We'll continue to do so because we believe this is an extremely important service, and this one is actually launching within the next 24 hours after this video has been released here. And we are using that EA, we are using those settings that you have just seen in here in the video. So again, these are the results that you should expect. So plus and minus, of course, the individual months, that is always something the Forex market is not aware. You can simply go and get the same percentage every single time. But you will see a lot more about it. This is a section from our website where when you go in and you have a look at the new Pamm account setup, you will see that you have weighted Liberator results and videos. It will take you over there, show you exactly what we have done in the past, all the results we have in here. It will also tell you where you can get started. So basically it'll send you to the broker. It will also tell you that we are launching on the 4th of March, and basically you can go and set up your account. You can go also and add money into that particular Pamm account. And if you are still in doubt if this is actually working correctly or not, there's also a link in here where you can see one of our real live FX Blue trading accounts, because we also have real live money on this, similar to what obviously the Pamm account is. So if we just jump over and have a look at the real account, this particular one is traded with the same EA, the same signals, the same setup, the same quality of signals, the same sort of look at the drawdown to make sure they are not too big. And again, we have about, I think it's 11 or 12 signals on that particular one at the moment. The balance has gone from 10,000 to 14,254. Floating profit and loss is at minus $15 at the moment, so very nice. Look at the graph here also, how nice it is. You can actually see there is a couple of bumps on the road here in the positive direction, and that is because this is not part of the copy link service. This is a real account, and that means also we are actually adjusting the risk, we're adjusting the lot size. So as we are getting more money in the account, we are no longer trading this particular one as it's a $10,000 account all the time. No, we are adjusting it so that when we are making more money, we are either adding more EAs to the mix, and we are expecting also on the Pamm account here to go all the way up to about 16 wave liberators at the moment that we have already tested for a very long time. You can even see them on the Expert Forex copy link service, so they are tried and tested, And as we can see, the total return is 42.8%, monthly returns 13.3%. So we are running very in a good manner, I would say. Weekly returns 3%. Look at the trade wins, 71. So also very high here. And the history for this particular live trade account is 90 days. This was actually started back in early December 2023. Now the whole approach, and I have shown you this also in some prior videos, is that the slow and steady wins the race. And that's also why we are not promoting any of these Pamm services where you're gonna get your 25 or 30%. It is simply too risky. So having something like that run at that particular pace for a very long time, there's simply too big a risk of doing that. So you should take this as a supplement to the coupling service and everything else that we are doing. You should spread the joy. If you obviously don't know how to trade, if you don't know how to set up MT4, MT5 platforms and everything else, then definitely the Pamm service is a good one because you don't have to buy any robots. You can simply just go and put the money in there. Now, if we have a look, closer look here at the live account, you can see again the same numbers as I showed you here before. And then on the right-hand side, you'll also see here the weekly profits in here. So 400, 430, all the way down. And you could see this month was actually a good one. Now, the difference is why this one is also a good one here is because we are making lot changes to the EAs all the time, or we are adding more trading EAs into it, which obviously increase the profit because we went from 10 now up to more than 14,000. And that is something you won't see on the other ones because we always trade the same lot size. Otherwise, new people can come in and join. But in this particular case for the Pamm, it doesn't really matter. It's only another way of creating extra profits. And have a look at the monthly. Back in December, we made about 1,200. For January, we made 1,300. And again, because we tweak, we dial, we put more EAs in there. In February, we now made $1,547, and already on the first day here for March, we made $201. So obviously things are going in the right direction and things are very much under control, and that's what you need from a Pamm account. Now you can obviously have a look, and as I said, there's plenty of links in there on our website. Again, you can see the individual trading accounts. So these are for the coupling service, but it's similar setups, it's similar links that you are using, and we are adding into the mix of the Pamm account to make sure that we have different types of currency pairs. So euros, Great British Pounds, you have your New Zealand one, you have your Japanese one, and the more you have in there, the more stable, the more consistent it becomes, and you can see how consistent it actually has been over long periods of time. Now, obviously, if you are interested in trying to get more profit out of it, maybe this is the video for you. This is Alex from Expert Forex. Again, there's a trading competition running. People have made several 100% in very short periods of time. They are using different EAs. So if you're into that kind of thing, then definitely that would be the video for you. Go and have a closer look. As always, all the links for our individual videos here is in the video description below. The important one is the one that Alex has actually just sent out, and he sent it out here Saturday morning, European time. Again, he's now mentioning the new Pamm service that has started, and he's actually describing the service that we are now starting up here. So we are talking to Alex, and obviously also we have made a deal with him so we can actually use his EAs, his robots going forward, and show exactly what can actually be done with these particular ones. So make sure you go, after this particular video here, you go to our website, you have a closer look. You can see that when you hit the portfolio button on the top of the website here, you will get to this particular page where you can see more on the Pamm account, and you'll also see the latest news reports and the Wave Liberator, the one we are trading with the Pamm accounts. So you can see exactly the videos there, how we have done in the past, and obviously there will be more to come in the future also on the Pamm account itself. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna join us also here on the new Pamm account service. Definitely we would like to hear back from you if you're interested, or if you are not interested in this, why are you not interested? What are you looking for exactly for it? Obviously, we're going to make more videos on the Pamm accounts in the future, but for now, most of the details are on our website, and hopefully I'll see you on one of my next videos. So until then, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.